Back again, another weekly update on the carnivore diet. I hope that you guys have had a great week. I know I have, and we are going to have a discussion today that might be uncomfortable for some people. We are going to talk about the lower bodies and the workings of the lower body uh, as nicely as I can. Um, we're going to talk about poop. All right, on the what I've observed on the carnivore diet as I've gone along. So right now I'm sitting. This is my third weekend. Right, I started this on the 1st of November. It is the 21st. So this is 21 days into the carnivore diet. And what I want to talk about here is pooping. All right. So what I have found, first thing that I have found is that I fart less. I do expel gas. That seems to be considerably less. In fact, I cannot remember the last time I had to fart. There was the initial week where the body's getting used to the diet, and your body sort of flushes, is sort of getting used to what's going on and flushes out all the all anything that's not helping it digest the meat and turn it into energy. So that's the first thing that I noticed. The second thing that I notice um, is it's much more uncomfortable to go poop. I don't know how else to put that. Now, that might be because my family and I have been not eating the liver. So I do have liver coming up over the next week. I've never personally really liked liver, so I'm gonna see if that won't help because I know that there's supposed to be something in it that should help that situation. But in order to get over that, I did get some teas that kind of help the intestines push it out. But I will say this: I think one of the reasons I am having that problem is because there's a lot less when I have to go. There's a lot less, and I mean a lot less when I have to go. It seems like what goes out of my body is far, far, far less. Okay. Now, as far as the update, I mean, this has just been what's been going through my mind when it comes to this. I'm still not having a real lack of energy. I'm a little bit beat down, but that's due to other personal things that are kind of going on in my life. But I don't have a lack of energy. I still don't need any pre-workout to go work out. I'm just, I'm really not eating a whole lot. When somebody puts like two small steaks in front of me, I'm just sitting there thinking like, oh my God, that's a lot of food. I just want to eat one and go to bed. And I still haven't convinced my family. Ooh, sorry. I still haven't convinced my family to not get me so much goddamn food. Um, Especially what's going on right now. I'm kind of quarantined. That's another thing is the last time I was on a low carb diet, having to count carbs, having to have way more restrictions than I have right now. Um, I was having a real lack of energy, and I felt like if I got sick, could not continue being on the diet because I was scared that my body wouldn't have enough energy to fight it. Okay. So far, and maybe that's due to the fact that I did get up to being morbidly obese, in my opinion, morbidly obese, because I'm sitting at 270 at 5'10", which is bigger. Now I've got a bit more muscle than most people due to my time in the army, due to the fact that I like to weight train a lot. I'm not saying I'm a super big guy, but at 270, most people would look at me and think I was about 250. Okay. Um, and then when I'm 220, most people think I'm around 200. When I'm at 200, I have a six pack. So, when I'm at 200, I'm sitting around when I'm between 200 and 210, I'm probably sitting around 10 to 15% body fat as opposed to right now where I'm probably sitting around 30, 40. So, maybe that might be because I have a little bit more body fat to lose, so I have more energy deposits. So, it's and I'm definitely sitting in ketosis. Now coming down to the reason why I'm talking about being sick. So somebody in my house, somebody that I'm helping out, who's kind of going through a really nasty divorce. She's upstairs. She's been trying to get back on her feet, trying to find a place. She got coronavirus from her work. She is kind of staying in my living room, one of my wife's friends. And by proxy, since we're all living in the same house for at least the time being, we all had to quarantine. So my state's on a semi lockdown as it sits where we had a very large spike of cases. We had one day where there was over 2,000 cases found in the state. So that's a huge, that's like 20% increase in cases from what we had to that. So that was a huge spike. It's been overwhelming our 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 hospital system, which is the scary part of the coronavirus, is when your hospital system is having a difficult time keeping up. So they're doing their due diligence and telling everybody to stay inside. Unfortunately, when you stay inside, it's more likely to get it from your family members. Now, nobody else in the house is tested positive, which is making me feel like maybe she's got a false positive, which is possible. I have heard about people who get tested in both nostrils, and in one nostril goes positive and one nostril goes negative. Um, so maybe we got a false positive and she's not. She's completely asymptomatic. I think she said she's having a hard time tasting things, and that's about it. So, I mean, take that or leave that as the case may be. I have no idea what to even think about that, but I don't feel like I need to come off this diet to fight a sickness. Um, but I will say this, with the advent of that, the more that I learn about the carnivore diet, the more that I realize why you need free range organic meat. So if you guys aren't familiar with the way that our meat is fed, is kind of on a conveyor belt. They're all fed the same thing day in and day out, and it's not exactly the most nutritious thing in the world because it's packed full of it's packed full, obviously packed full of chemicals, but it's packed full of things that's going to make them gain weight very quickly, gain muscle very quickly, right? So certain types of hormones, certain types of, right, and then that gets digested by whatever your food's going to be, and then by proxy, that is what you eat, which means that you want to be able to eat meat that is fed a variety of foods, that is fed vitamins, that is fed healthy, because you want the meat to be healthy since you're using that meat to put into yourself, right? So if you want those vitamins, then that means your food had to be fed those vitamins. So it's very important. It's something that I'm realizing. It's very important to have those two things meet up. So not everybody can afford the organic. You're not going to be incredibly unhealthy if you afford the organic. You just might want to have a little bit of organic here and there, right? You get the calcium from eating cheese or having some cream. Uh, like I said before, my wife like made some cream of chicken, and she looked at me and she goes, "Oh, you can't have the cream of chicken." I said, "Yes, I can. We have bone broth, we have cream, we have chicken. Put it together, put some spices in it, feed it to me." She, oh, well, yeah, I guess you're right. It is cream, and I'm like, yeah, and I pointed out, so like Campbell's soup puts a lot of crap in it that doesn't need to be there. They just put a lot of this crap in it because it's cheaper than putting all of this into it. They could put water, they could put cream, and they could put chicken in it and give me cream of chicken, but they decided to put a bunch of things to cut costs in order to not have to increase their prices and get the negative press. Um, and that's corporations doing what corporations do. I'm not blaming them for I'm not blaming them for that. So again, to kind of recap on this video, guys, um, I do think that you need a variety of meats. I mean, it's becoming more and more clear that I need a variety of meats. It's become more and more clear to go out of your way to get at least a few organic meats, because obviously I'm not rich. I'm not a celebrity. I'm just Joe Schmo trying to lose some weight. I'm very inactive, so low carb diet is definitely going to be a better way for me to go because I'm going to the gym. Oh yeah, and by the way, I was unable to go to the gym this week, and I suck at working out at home. I just suck at it. Me just sitting around doing push-ups and sit-ups, I never enjoyed it. It's hard for me to do just psychologically because I just like I hate just doing the same repetitions over and over and over again. I like to go in a gym and go, "Ooh, I'm going to do that machine. Ooh, I'm going to try this out. Oh, hey, look, a rope." I like having a variety. I am working on getting myself a punching bag for the home so that I can work on some upper body cardio, right? But the fact of the matter is, can't, right? The fact of the matter is, like, that there's a lot of other things that I want besides that. All right, and it's hopefully I only got one more week. Nobody else gets the COVID. I'm going back to the gym the next week. So the reason why I tell you that this week, a lot less weight loss. I think the I haven't been able to really sweat it out as much as I did over the past 2 weeks. So I actually went down. So last week I was at 263. This week I did hit a low of 259, but I think I have too much hydration and I'm not sweating it back out. I've noticed that I want water less over the past 2 days, so I settled at about 262 this morning, and I have to go to the bathroom again, kind of an uncomfortable, I got to go poop, and it's going to be kind of uncomfortable. I find that that I do need some teas, something to help me get it out of my body, to make myself stay regular. So I that's not strictly on the diet, but I've trying to use a probiotic that seems to help. Some just some normal teas. I don't want to show their things. I don't want to advertise for somebody that doesn't pay me. I don't want to like you know go against their TOS or anything like that. So some probiotics just kind of help me flush out my system. Um, so I do have that. It does help it be more less uncomfortable, but I do find that I'm not farting as much. I do find that I have to go to the bathroom much less. Like sometimes I just skip a day and it's not a big deal, and then the next day I'm fine. When I was not on the carnivore diet, if I skipped a day, that meant there was something wrong. On this, honestly, it's just a lot less. It's just a whole lot less. So it's kind of weird to have that feeling, and I think that's because you can digest. Humans should be able to digest a lot more when it comes to meats, because I think we can even digest the bones, if I do recall. Um, I mean, this one's a little bit longer video, just giving a lot of impressions on my limited understanding of what's going on. I do have some discipline in anthropology, and I do know one of the reasons why humans are so successful as a species is due to the fact that we can digest pretty much everything, up to and including some metals. Don't do that, but you can. Don't do that, but you can. Um, but we can digest a lot more off the body of an animal than we can when it comes to vegetation. So there's a reason why we have to pick and choose what vegetations we eat, and because we can't digest all of them. Obviously, we're not just going off, and you can't go in your front yard with some grass and start eating the grass and think that that your body's not going to process that. It's just going to push it straight out, right? And it's not going to be comfortable. It's going to suck. So, that's probably the reason why I'm doing that less, because more my body's using more of the food that I'm putting into it, which is great for efficiency. It actually ends up being costing me a lot less in the long run. And I think that my wife is starting to realize that it's costing me a lot less because I'm eating a lot less. Um, Usually $50 on, because I've gone on diets such as the paleo diet. $50 would last me a week, maybe less with fruits and vegetables. The last time that I did $200, and I'm not even halfway through my stuff, and it's been 3 weeks. So if I make it to 5 weeks, yeah, I'm not even halfway through, and it's been 3 weeks. And it's great because I just wait for stuff to go on sale. Then I buy it, deep freeze it, have it for a real long time. You can't do that with fruits. You can't do that with vegetables for the most part. It's just not a capable thing unless you want to. It doesn't chemically change it, but it does change the cells inside of fruit because the way that the cell wall is made up. When you freeze a cell wall inside of a fruit or vegetable, it breaks the wall. So it makes it taste different. And a lot of people don't like it. It's great for smoothies, not so great if you just want to eat a raspberry or an orange or something like that. It tastes way different. And if you freeze a fruit and you let it thaw, you'll notice it just runs. And that's the reason why is because the cell walls are busted. So basically, it's goo without any cell wall, so it doesn't have as much structure to it, and it's less fun. It's just basically goo. It's less fun to eat. Um, I mean, that's it for this week. I am sitting at 262. Hopefully, I can at least lose 1 more pound. After next week, we do have Thanksgiving coming up. I do intend on maintaining this diet through that. I don't, I'm gonna have my wife kind of make some deviled eggs without any stuff I can't eat in it. So turkey, some deviled eggs, some what else we got? I mean, I guess you can technically have honey ham. I don't really see a problem with having honey ham. So as long as it's honey and ham, it should be free game. It might throw me out of ketosis, but it is holiday. And all I have are the people that I'm quarantined with. So we're going to have some fun to eat. So I don't intend on actually losing weight next week because A, I can't go to the gym. B, we have a holiday where we're gonna have a big feast. So those things are the way that they are. All right. Um, by the way, guys, if you don't already know, I do stream video games every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It is on caffeine.tv. It's also here on YouTube. We only talk about Twitch, so it's also here on YouTube. You can see that in my YouTube channel. Also, I do highlights every week. I will post that here on my highlights every week. And then I was able to get some merch. If you do like what I do and you do want to support the channel, I do have a Patreon. It's very cheap and it kind of gives you access to Thursdays. Thursdays are community day where anybody can jump in my Discord and anybody is allowed to come and talk. I think that everybody's voice should be heard. I'm very big on that, and we will continue doing that until the end. Thank you guys for watching this video and getting to this point, and I hope that you have a great day.